Hey, what's going on, guys? Passyunk here, bringing you a strength build that I have found to be an absolute blast. It absolutely destroys things. You can get a lot of the gear. You can get everything you see me wearing right now early on. There's a lot of different variations you can use for gear. There's actually a lot of weapons you could use if you don't want to use the one that I'm using. Talisman wise, tons of variety. So it's very beginner friendly. Easy Ash of War that I'm using, also interchangeable. So anyway, let's take a look. This is the build at 122, where I'm at right now. 45 Vigor, 20 Mind. The Mind here lets me use the Ash of War 6 times. So with one potion, you can use it 12 times in a fight. You're not going to ever need to do that early on, and even midway through the game, because you're one or two shotting everything. Endurance, I love endurance. You can't kill anything when you're dead, and when you can't block, dodge, or you run out of the ability to attack, you're in trouble. So endurance is very important. There is several talismans you can get that if you're stacking the endurance just for being able to equip heavier gear, you can kind of get around that with the talismans. I didn't do that because, like I said, endurance not a sexy stat, but a very useful stat. Strength, our main stat. Got 55 in that so far. Going to be putting more in there. Dexterity, I had to put 3 points in just to be able to equip the weapon. None, none, and none. So let's go take a look at some of the other talismans, some of the other weapons you can use, and then I will show you this build in action.
Did you ever know that you're my hero? You're everything I wished I could be. And I can fly higher than an eagle. For you are the wind beneath my wings.
Okay, so here we are at the third church. See here. Now what we're going to do is mount up right over here to the teleporter. There it is. Yes. It's going to teleport us to right outside of double doors with a giant gargoyle that we're going to want to leave alone. Certainly when you're doing this early on, you're going to want to leave him alone. Anyway, here's where it put us. So we have all of this discovered, but anyway, our destination is right here. So we're just going to teleport there right now since we have it unlocked. But you can ride there. This is one way. The other way I'll show you in a second. So anyway, we mount up. Here again, it's where we're at. This little wagon up here is our destination. Since you'll be doing this very early on, you're going to want to avoid those guys, that bird guy over there. None of them are friendly. Anyway, we are holding the weapon that's in this box, so it's not going to be in there. But anyway, you open it up, there it will be. There's your weapon. Okay. Alright, this is the other way to get to the weapon. I'll show you on the map where we're at. This is basically the first site of grace outside of the little tutorial area that you get. So you take that and you ride it directly over here to the Dragon Burnt Ruins. Come right to the middle area. You'll have to kill some zombie guys and some dogs. And down here there are some rats, which are always fun, but nothing too challenging. So you'll run straight ahead to this chest that you will pop, and the chest will Houdini us to Caelid. Alright, here we are. Now, you're going to have to run past these guys, because you don't want to fight them yet, because you're still low level. So anyway, take this path, follow it around to the left. Drop down. Keep going to the left. Lo and behold, here we are. Now, you're here, you won't have any of this discovered anyway if you're doing this right away, but we can't use any of those until we ride to one. And you'd have to ride to one and then sit at it, and then you'd be able to teleport. But you'll be riding here anyway. Or no. Excuse me. You'll be riding here anyway. So I guess your quickest route would be like so. Alright guys, let's really quickly take a look at some of the other weapons and some of the other armors, and these are just some. There are lots more options than even these. Okay. You actually get this sword right where I'm standing. It's really cool looking. It does a lot of damage. Costs a lot of strength just to equip it, 40, and dex, 14. So you'd have to put 5 points if you went with the hero class right into dex right off the bat. This looks badass. It's a really cool weapon. You have to be able to defeat the magma worm, so you wouldn't be able to get this right away. That's another option. Also, obviously, it requires dex and faith, so you're mixing up your build a little bit there. Another solid weapon, bleed damage, pretty cool. You can pair it with a shield. Hammer, if you're really into hammers. It's not the best of the colossal hammers, but it is a solid one. Okay, as far as gear goes, if you are running the claw talisman, this is a great chest to pair with it because you're then getting the most out of your jump attacks. We have on the Banished Knight armor. You can get it really early and it's really good protection, gives you really good poise, so it's just a really solid set to use. This gear is also great, but you don't get it until way later on. You defeat Commander Neil. There's an O'Neill and a Neil. I think this is the Neil. Mountaintop of Giants. He is in the top of the tower. You go up and defeat him and his two little cronies, and then you can go and buy this armor from the Fingers Lady at the Hold. This is another solid set you get from defeating the old knight. It's part of the Volcano Manor quest. She gives you basically an assassination target. You go and click on the red stain, blood stain. You get teleported to him, or he gets teleported to you. I don't remember which. But either way, it results in him dying and you getting this gear. So those are all solid options. Let's see, talismans that I'm using. These aren't even the best ones you could be using. This one gives me 5 more strength, which is our main stat. This one increases the jump attacks. Should be pairing it with the raptors, but I'm not. These two here are stamina. This regens it. This gives me more. Alright guys, we went over the weapons, we went over the gear, we went over the talismans. Basically, by the time you get to level 50, we'll talk about level 50. When you get to level 50, you want to have about 25 to 30 in vigor. The mind stat not as important because you're not really spamming it early on because you're 1 and 2 shotting things, so you don't have to do anything really with that. You can put a point or 2 in if you want to. Endurance, you can put less in endurance if you're going to get the talisman that reduces the weight load. Otherwise, you can pump more into endurance. I would put in about 30 to 35 because you're going to want to be able to equip the heavier armor, and if you don't go and get that talisman, which is a pain in the ass to get, I think it's a pain in the ass to get, then at least early on it is, then you're going to want to put more in endurance. Strength, your main stats, so you're going to want to put whatever left over, whichever direction you go, whether you go tankier with the vigor or more endurance because you didn't go get the talisman. I don't know, that's up to you. But whatever you have left over, you're going to want to put that into strength, so you're going to want at least 30 strength, 30 to 35 early on. You're going to have to put those 3 points in dexterity if you want to use this weapon, just to be able to equip it and utilize it properly. I don't even know that I mentioned we're using the Lion's Claw. The claw. Big flash 4, that is. Lion's already dead.
Put him up! Put him up!
But that is the hole he would be in. So you jump down there, kill him. Profit. Ash of War, which, you know, God, such a good one. So there it is. You're going to see plenty of it coming up. So let's get into the fun part of the video where we actually showcase the damage and you get to see how this build just wrecks. Alright guys, I hope you enjoy. Talk to you later. Alright, big ass tree guy. I believe you missed me with that one. Oh yeah. You got him. There we go. Right there now. All I need is 2 more to fulfill my Goldilocks fantasy. Bloody fingers. Oh, nice dodge, bloody fingers. Well, you didn't dodge that one, bloody fingers. There we go. Alright. Put up a hell of a fight. Okay. I'm pushing it. At least it can. Too bad it can't stagger you. Or I didn't stagger you.
dragon. Oh, little Rani, my dear daughter, weave thy night into being.
Alright, old knight. Yeah, alright. This guy looks like he'll go down no problem, right? Well, maybe not. On deck. Sucked. One other asshole. That should get you. Oh, what the shit? Yeah, of course. Should be good night for you. It is. Good nighty. Sloppily done, but it's late. I'm tired.
Oh wow! So some things you can just stack. So people are stacking Cage Blade.
It's an interesting graphic. There you go. Alright. Yeah. Yeah, keep recentering that camera instead of locking on. Okay. There you go.